It is another rainy day as you get your day started this morning. We're in the mid 40s. It's been raining really since yesterday. We've picked up about a half of an inch of rain in that time frame. Today going to be an extension of yesterday as we're going to see showers lasting at least through the early afternoon. Here's the way the first alert radar looks. Metro Atlanta is completely wet. Widespread rain up into the mountains. Only areas not seeing rain, Northwest Georgia. If you're not seeing rain up in Northwest Georgia, if you live from Calhoun to Rome, Somerville, up into Blue Ridge, Ellijay, you may stay dry through most of the day today, but the rest of us are going to see showers last at least through lunchtime into the early afternoon. We'll be in the 40s through the time you eat lunch, topping out in the mid 50s. When the kids get out of school, that's when the rain will start to move out and the sun will return quickly. So 4, 5, 6 p.m. will actually be pretty nice. We'll see a few hours of sunshine as you get off work today. A few hours of sunshine will allow temperatures to jump into the mid to upper 50s. Areas that see more sun up in Northwest Georgia will hit the 60s. Meanwhile, East Georgia, you'll continue to see showers till around 4, 5, maybe even 6 p.m. You'll top out in the low 50s today. Looking ahead, today the pollen will be low because of the rain. Tomorrow, as we dry out, the pollen levels will be moderate. But when we see a very warm day on Wednesday after a lot of sunshine, those pollen levels are going to jump to very high. So make sure you're taking your allergy medicine. We're going to start to see that pollen peak at the end of the month of March. Tomorrow looks gorgeous. Tons of sunshine back into the mid 70s. It's going to be a warm week overall. After today, we jump into the 70s and we pretty much stay there through the end of the work week. Look at this, 74 tomorrow, 77 on Wednesday, 75 on Friday. So quite nice through most of the week this week. After today, we'll have a little bit of rain on Thursday afternoon, but all eyes are looking ahead to this weekend. We have two big first alert weather days. You can see they're highlighted in red both Saturday and Sunday. We're looking at a pretty high potential of storms overnight Saturday into Sunday, and those storms could be strong to severe. Looks like we'll see scattered storms through most of the day on Saturday. I know it is St. Patrick's Day weekend. The First Alert Weather Team is walking the St. Patrick's Day Parade on Saturday, so we'll be watching that forecast closely for you through the week.